Welcome back to Conversations with Sharyn and Rosa. I'm Rosa.
And I'm Sharyn.
Once again, thank you to all of our viewers. Whether you've been with us since day one or you are a new subscriber, we welcome you, we thank you, and we ask that you continue to, show up with us every week, watch us, like us, and share us with your friends. We solely appreciate you.
And subscribe.
And definitely subscribe to
Please.
know what's coming up, because
Yes.
you don't ever know what Sharon and I are about to do. So you might want to subscribe so you don't miss that.
Yeah.
And before we get into today's topic, I just want to give a couple shout outs. So, of course, and always, my number one girl, Dr. Paulette Johnson, on Real Women, Real Talk, out of Petersburg, Virginia. That's 91.3 WVST. I also want to give a shout out to one of my high school buddies, Maria Lovo. I knew her as Maria Burns, but she's Maria Lovo right now.
Yeah.
We thank you for watching,
Hey,
girl.
girl.
Solely appreciate you. And one of my other sisters in love, Keisha Watson. We love you. And we thank you, and we appreciate you, and we love your hustle too. So we got you, girl.
Okay, we got him?
Yeah,
Okay.
we got him in. I think we got him in.
Whew.
So, I'm probably forgetting one or two
Now,
people
I'm
that I
tired
wanted to.
now. And she was talking.
I probably forgot one or two people I wanted to do, but I'll get them next week.
That's right.
so.
Love us past it.
Exactly.
Just love us past it. We didn't do it intentionally.
Exactly. I'll get you next week. But yeah, so today's topic on Conversations with Sharyn and Rosa is, you all ready?
Drum roll.
Bisexual.
Women.
Bisexual women. Yeah,
Ooh.
so we're going to give you our
little take on it.
opinions.
Mhm.
I guess opinions.
And
on-
experiences.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, but let me just jump in right now and just say, like, we as we decided this topic, one, because you guys asked about it, two, because it's real, and we are black women, we are black lesbian women living in the real world. So we're talking to you guys out there as well as ourselves. How many of you are currently or have been or thought about dealing with, hooking up with, being in a one-on-one relationship with a bisexual woman? How many of you were with a bisexual unknowingly? So we like to kick stuff off with just a brief definition. What does it mean when someone declares himself to be bisexual? Well, bisexual just means that you're attracted to, more than one gender. It doesn't have to be one gender at a time. You can be romantically attracted, sexually attracted, or not necessarily to the same sex for the same amount of time and to the same degree. All right, so I hope that's safe enough. I wanted to go general because I know y'all gonna blow us up like, well, I describe myself as this, but it's now.
Yeah, and whatever you describe yourself as, I mean, no shade, we still love you. We just
Right, but
giving our opinion.
Right, and for today's discussion, because there's so much stuff going out there. Somebody's fluid, someone's pansexual, not to be mixed up with the bisexual, and the bisexuals over here, and
Yeah. But we as lesbians are giving it to you on how we feel bisexual is, and we could go into the other ones too, but
not today,
yeah,
not today, because we can go deep.
We're just working on bisexual,
Right, and being very polite about it. So,
Yeah.
in a sense of, it's now the year 2021,
Yep.
and we're still dealing with some of the issues that we've had 20 years ago, 40 years ago, 60 years ago. At one time, there was a stigma to announce yourself as being anything other than straight. Not to mention, old verbiage, homosexual, or then we graduated to gay and queer, and it's so much. And it says, like, I was doing some research and was saying it does get confusing. One group wants to be acknowledged this way, another group wants to be acknowledged this way, and then we got to make sure that we get our nouns and pronouns together. It was so much easier when I came up. You're like, if you're gay, hey, let's party.
Right.
That's the way it was. Are you
I'm
gay?
sure.
hey, let's party.
Yeah, because even when I came out, it was so many different things, and I'm like, well, what am I? I just thought I was a lesbian, and that's just kind of how I defined it, and so that's what I'm going with. I mean, I could probably fit in so many other of those roles, but like I've said in our previous discussions, that I don't even like labels. So for me, it is what it is.
And many of us don't like labels, yet there's another contingency out there creating more labels. And it's like we want to really get it right. We don't want to pigeonhole ourselves, but I'm this, but I'm not that. I'm that. So I'm even with me. I'm 65, and it's like, well, are you gay? Are you queer? Are you butch? Are you this? I'm just Sharyn. Out here trying to have a happy life in Southern California with my wife.
She's just a woman loving another woman.
That's it. And then I don't get away with keeping it that simple. Well, it has worked for me, and I'm probably going to leave here with it. But
absolutely,
I digress. Bisexual women. So, ladies, my sisters, my friends, our audience out there, and I want to start with Rosa. How many of you have experienced, romantically speaking, not to mention or sexually, socially, how many of you have experienced an ongoing one-on-one connection with a person who has self-identified as bisexual? Okay.
Well, good thing you said self-identified, because my first thing is I was going to say that sometimes you don't know if people are bisexual unless they tell you, But, if someone told me that they were bisexual, I personally don't necessarily date bisexual women.
Can we put this in the past? You mean before you were married?
Oh, of course.
Let me be clear. Okay.
Well, you asked me as though it was, I'm supposed to answer it today. So I got to tell you my experiences.
Have you ever?
Not that I know of. Not that I know of. I've spoken to and was hooking up with certain people, and they're like, I'm bisexuals, and that just kind of halts stuff. But I think more for me, it's like, I don't understand the thinking, so it's a little ignorance on my part about the understanding of bisexual women. Mm-hmm. So I'm just like, well, why can't you just pick one? Like, why does it have to be two or three? Is there three? But anyway, I just don't understand it. So I think for me, that's why I shy away from it. I think when we don't understand something, we tend to shy away from it. I just don't want to have to deal with, if there's a man in the room and there's a woman in the room, trying to figure out which one I need to, try to guard myself from, because I don't know what your attraction to. Are you going towards the man today? Are you going towards the woman at the same time, or whatever that is? I just don't get the whole bisexual. So call me ignorant, stupid, whatever you need to do. I don't get it. So I don't necessarily date them, because I can't see us having a conversation about that. And I had one tell you a story. But I had one woman who was interested in me, and she was dating a woman at the time, but she told me she was bisexual, but I enjoyed talking to the woman. We laughed all the time, spoke all the time, and I guess because we had that kind of connection, and I knew she was breaking up with the woman that she was currently with at that time, and she was kind of trying to put her out the house or get her out of the house. So she and I would talk about that on a daily basis, and so the woman finally leaves, and they're finally all broken up. And so she's just like, oh, okay. Like, it was going to be, her and I at that time. And I'm like, oh.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
I'm like, oh, no. And I guess because of our conversations and all of the stuff that we had, I don't think I ever said anything to lead her on. And maybe I did, because at the beginning, we were trying to hook up. But when I found out she was bisexual, I automatically was like, okay, she's just going to be in the friend zone. And that's why, I continued to have the conversations with her and the laughter and all of that on the phone. And I think maybe she kind of took that as okay, once I get rid of this girl, then, it's going to be Rosa and me.
Rosa.
And I was just like, well, I already told you in the midst of our conversations that I don't even date bisexual women.
Oh,
and
okay.
When I said that, it was almost like she cut everything off. Like, Facebook, block my number must be, because when I tried to call, I I was just like, was it that serious? I, thought we could be friends, but then I didn't understand why she didn't understand why I didn't want to date someone who's bisexual. That's like a preference. Like, I've had people who didn't want to date me because I had children, so that's their preference. I can't be mad at them. So why is she mad at me for my preference? So that's why I'm just saying the whole bisexual thing. I don't get it. I don't know. Sharyn have to go with this one because I'm confused.
Wow, Rosa. Thank you for your honesty. And so we got you down today as being confused about it, right?
I'm confused. I mean, I'm confused. Yeah.
And that's okay because I assure you, you are not alone. Yeah. I've been down and around and out for many decades, and I'm going to tell you, I don't get it either. But maybe it's not for me to get. So remember, one of our little catchy little I don't want to make it a one size fit all about being bisexual. Is saying that you can be attracted to more than one gender at one time, not necessarily in the same way, not necessarily at the same time, and not to the same degree. Yeah. So what does that mean? You're just a frequent flyer and you just zip around the world, and you can do a deal with, if I'm with a man in January, I may very well be with a female in December. I like them differently. I love them differently. I'm just open. I don't know. I'm not here to answer the question. I'm here to ask the questions today. Because
but I can say
because
I can say that the woman that I was speaking about earlier, she did say, well, when I'm with a woman, I'm with a woman. Like, I'm not with a man and a woman. So maybe, bisexual women are with one gender at a time. But at the same time, it's still like, okay, if I know you like, tall, blonde, brown-eyed women, and one of them walk through the door, I can understand that because, we're lesbians and we're looking at women. But then if you like, buff Bobby who's walking through the door, now I got
he gets a ticket too.
Right. Now I got to guard that too. Like, okay, I see you're looking at buff Bobby. So what does that mean? So, it's just too much other stuff for me to factor in.
Right. And everyone is probably, not probably, I know everyone is not as honest, perhaps with their own sexuality as you are, maybe as I am, and as you may be. I'm going to tell you, without having met everyone, that chances are, if you're out there dating in this climate, this day and age, you may very well be dating with, have slept with a bisexual woman. Yeah. Yeah, pow, as they say, pow. Okay, and it and it happens. It happens. So okay, a little bit. Not making it about me, but a little bit about my experience. Because people say, "Well, Sharyn, you really don't like bisexual women." One of the first women I ever lived with in my life was a bisexual woman. I knew she was, but you know how some people think like you'll change for me, and I thought that our situation was deep enough, not to mention that we're living together, that it was enough for her. It was not. While we were in a relationship, she was still eyeing and flirting with, and dare I say, even sleeping with men.
Yeah, now that's my fear.
So don't get me. Look, I'm at the time I'm all of 19, 20, maybe 21 at the time, and so I'm thinking, is this the way the world goes? Not my world. So I learned at a very young age what I didn't want. Yeah. I didn't want nobody, who are not sure of who they are with me. I'm not mad at you, but I cannot use you in my business. Right. I cannot. Now, many years since then, I had knowingly, I can deal socially with some bisexuals, and I like people, period. Okay. I'm not putting no mark on you. Nobody likes, no one likes labels, but okay, I like labels because it lets me know what the hell I'm getting into. When you go to the grocery store, non-fat, fat, sodium, and what's the new word? No carbs and whatever, I just want to know what I'm dealing with, and I don't want no surprise in the middle of a groovy Saturday night, because I did ask women questions, and I will do the Oprah interview with your ass at 1 a.m. How often? When was the last time? Where do you rub? Where do you scrub? Where do you sleep at? And how do you like it? All of those things. And I don't think sometimes as women we get so hungry, and we get so. One of my analogies, with Rosa, I said, if you are a person who is thirsty And I mean, you're very thirsty because you be dealing with the absence of water. You are thirsty, in the desert thirsty. When you do come upon water, if someone was just to say, I got all the water you want, you're not supposed to drink it fast. You're supposed to sip. But because we're so hungry, when we do find that woman or that person for the evening or for the weekend or for the quarter, we're like, oh, you goggle it. You almost choke. You almost choke on it because you've been deprived of it. So I think in our community, and please, I know we're going to light the lights up on this one. I think sometimes though we're not desperate, we act as though we are. We don't ask some questions because you don't want to hear the answer to it.
Yeah.
Sometimes, especially if you've been out there, some OG or so whoever you are, and the old school people, you didn't just drop to the planet as an aging dyke.
Right.
You know the score. So some women, some of my sisters out there, I think they may very well be like, okay, you bisexual, but let's not talk about it.
Right.
Well, why you with me? You ain't going to be bisexual. I don't know. But I have entertained bisexual women in my dating years. But because if you're honest with me, say you're bisexual, and I'm honest with you saying I don't do that, I don't do that. We could be friends. We can go to the party, and hey, guess who's coming to town? And I got tickets. But we're not going to be doing the wild thing. Why? Right. Because you're bisexual. Yeah. And that's where I am. I'm not throwing that on you. I'm just being very, very honest. So the dating games are still the dating games, but some people will keep putting different ingredients in the pot.
Yeah.
All right. I want to know who I'm dealing with.
Yeah.
And not to their defense, but I've heard, bisexual women like, oh, we get such a bad rep. I tell somebody I'm bisexual and she don't call me again. Guess what? You tell me you bisexual, I won't call you again. I mean, if I was out there and not happily married.
Yeah.
To little darling.
But the thing too with some bisexual women, I think they may be scared to come out at the beginning to even say. I mean, because what is that? A conversation on the first date or the second date, or do they skip the first date and go to So are you upset like they didn't tell you the first time? Now you feel like you invested in it and now it's too far gone for you to even get out of it. Because you love the person. So is that a conversation that you have on a first date as a bisexual woman? And I mean, how does that work?
Right.
Oh,
that's part of my questionnaire, sweetie. But and what happened? That's it. I think that's question 13. But seriously, and after you have connected with this person, entertained them, y'all having fun, you got a lot in common. She's a Gemini, you're a Libra. Or she's an Aquarian, it's a good fit, and gee, she likes jazz too, and y'all grooving. And I don't know, like I said, I don't know what y'all talking about in the bedroom before y'all do fun things. But how do you not ask a person? And if you're the one that's bisexual, how do you not tell your partner? Because let's just say, let's keep it real, sweetie, because we got to go here. If you've slept with 3 people in the last 18 months, one of them is a bisexual woman that you didn't know about. So God forbid, we've already done the thing on safe sex. You don't want to know some words. You don't want to learn how to pronounce some Latin in the doctor's office. And you're saying, well, who could I have slept with? What's going on? And then the woman says, oh yeah, I sleep with men too. How do you deal with that?
Yeah.
Not saying that women can't give you something.
We spoke about that already.
Right, but I'm telling you, if I'm actively dating a woman, even if it's just we on the easy groove of, every third weekend we're dealing with each other, we're sexing each other, and then you're going to tell me in the middle of fall, like, I like men too? Catch my face.
Right.
The horror.
Right.
Are you kidding? And so again, so let me be very careful. Make sure we're not. I don't want to, portray anything negative. I'm just trying to keep it real. Every woman out there who's bisexual is not being honest with her own sexuality, and she sure as hell's not being honest with it to you. Some of them.
Well, I also think that sometimes people feel like they're not getting lucky or finding the relationship that they want in the whole lesbian world. So sometimes they just deal with a man anyway. Like, it's not necessarily...
Oh, default. Oh, that's how default? We default to men.
I mean, sort of, because it's like, I mean, like, I can't get a woman to date me, so let me just go out and date a man at this point. So I don't necessarily think that they would be considered bisexual. I just think they're just settling until they feel like something better comes along. I mean, what do you think with that?
Oh, I know there's women out there doing that, and I'm sorry. Let me change the expression on my face.
No, but okay, my question is, have you ever had a woman who, was in your circle or you dated, and then you hear, once y'all break up 2 months later, that
she's with a man?
Yeah, like, how does that work? I mean, or how do you
navigate
think that people,
yeah.
Feel with that,
I don't know. Well, I think it depends on where you're at with it, and it surely depends with your partner's at it. How you deal with it, I think it depends on who you are and where you're at emotionally and psychologically with it. But first of all, you've been lied to, or at a minimum deceived. And remember, back to the questionnaire. I have asked you. I will add, if I was out there single, especially in today's climate, almost anything goes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like I said, there's got stuff out there that you can't even pronounce anymore.
Right.
All right? So I'm thinking, how many sexual partners have you had? What did you do with them? What's your role in that? What do you like? How did you do it? How many did you do it to? I'm serious. This is some serious stuff.
No,
now,
it is.
But you can only go with the information that you've been fed. And the other part, I think we talked about this a couple of weeks ago too. When a person tells you who they are, where they've been, and what they've been doing, you have to decide whether or not they're telling you the truth. Yeah. They can tell you, I was a nun until the year 2009. I haven't been with a man since 1986. And they'll find out it's just not true. It's just not true. So even if they do tell you, you know what I mean? That doesn't mean they're going to tell you the truth. But I'm just saying at that time, you got to use your own discernment.
Yeah.
It's just important that you have those kind of conversations. You know what I mean? And it's not like we're talking about, hey, let's grab a burger together. You're talking about exchanging body fluids. So I'm going to ask you some serious questions because we already do. Remember, as women, we do intimate things.
Yeah.
So this ain't a handshake and a body rub. This is some serious stuff. So I need to know. I would like to know to some level, what's your sexual history? Yeah. And I don't know how you get out of that conversation without saying I like men too.
Right. So my question though is, so you're not dating bisexual women because of the body fluid thing, or just because? I mean, it sounds as though you're saying, okay, no, because of the whole body fluid, I don't know where it's coming from, that I'm not dating.
I don't care if it was men or women. I still want to know your history.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not part-time lesbian. I'm for realsies. Okay. And there's some people, I'd said it before, some of these lesbians, they take summers off. How the hell you have a 6-month-old child and you've never been with a man lately? And saying, like, oh, I was with my partner and we decided to have a child. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about women who are actively having sex with men and actively having sex with women too.
Yeah.
Also, inclusive. Okay? That's what I'm saying. I got an issue with that. And don't tell me I don't get to ask you questions, because we need to chat about it. Yeah. Now, once you tell me that you're bisexual, and then I may even ask actively, you may say, well, hey, I used to think I was attracted to men, but I find out, once I was with women, this is where it's a better fit. This is where I am psychologically, blah, blah, blah. I'm to the moon with this woman. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm not going back to men. That's a different conversation.
And it is.
Than Yeah. And something, I take summers off because I still like Harry. I ain't hearing it.
And it is a different conversation, but that's kind of where I am with it, because it's like, I've been with a man and I know that I don't want to be with a man again, so I am with women, and I've been with women for the last 20 years of my life, whatever. Mm-hmm. That's different. But my understanding is because you've been with both, and so you chose the side that you want to be on. That's why I'm saying I'm confused, because I don't understand, like, why, they just won't pick a side.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Like, especially if both. I mean, if you've never even just been with a man, then you don't even know.
Right, right. You
know,
don't have
like
a point
men
of
or not.
reference, right?
Yeah, but if you've been with both and you can say, okay, I like this one, and I'm not trying to put people in a box at all. I'm just saying I personally just don't understand it. That's just me. You don't have to be upset about it. Just
Right.
saying I just don't understand it. So
And I would
make
say
a decision.
for for the audience, I think I do understand it. I just can't support it.
Right, right.
It's okay. Now, I'm sorry if I sound hardline on that. I get it. You know what I mean? Like, oh, Charlie makes you feel this way, but oh, wow, and here's Gloria. I get it. Two different things, you know what I mean? Like, I like cake and I love pie. Wonderful. I'm telling you, with me, you need to choose. All right?
I can't even choose between that. Because sometimes I need cake and sometimes I need pie. Okay. And this is literally speaking. Like,
well, that's another conversation, okay? Catch us next week.
No, just kidding. But
Yeah.
but no, and I hear what you're saying, and I know you're saying you can't support it. But if you're bisexual, please help me understand it. I mean, just put
And
in the
actively.
comments or email us, because
Right.
I really just would want to sit down, I guess, with someone who is bisexual and just kind of get their thoughts on where they are.
Right.
Most of the time I come in contact with people is when back when I was in the dating world, they were trying to date me, so it was under different circumstances. But I would just love to have a conversation. I really, unless some of my friends just haven't told me, don't have any bisexual friends.
Oh, and I do.
So
I do. And
how do you have bisexual friends and I don't have bisexual? Aren't our friends
the same?
friends?
No, they're not. No, they're not. No, I know people who are in this circle who are still actively bisexual, and it's okay. Like I said, I ain't beating you
I don't
down.
know.
I would tell you that bisexuals, they're getting a lot of attention, and not all of it's good. Sometimes I think we give them a bad rap that they don't deserve.
Yeah.
So I want to come toward you with kindness, understanding, and an open heart. I really mean that. But I'm just saying for my lifetime, for the way I've navigated my life, I didn't have any room for that. I'm not, like I say, I ain't mad at you, but I wasn't trying to get one either.
Right.
We could be friends, we can hang out, you could be my new ride or die. But I can't look at you that way because I don't entertain men and women in a sexual nature, and I don't want to sleep unknowingly or knowingly sleep with a woman who does. That's all. Right. That's my thing, and I get a right to say that. And just
Absolutely.
like the other people, like you get other people have a right to have their opinion. So quite frankly, I would love to hear from the bisexuals. I love you guys. You know what I mean? And you're just as good as everybody else. And
Right.
you loving us, we're loving you back. I'm just saying I can respect it, and intellectually, I can understand it. But for my life, I could not support it.
Yeah.
And I think that's about as honest I
But
can be about
if you're
that.
hanging with someone who's bisexual, like what clubs do you go to? The straight club?
No, they come to our club because we pumping. Yeah.
They not at the gay club.
Yeah. Oh, some of them are. It's fun. Quite frankly, you don't see it unless you're looking for it.
Yeah.
How about that? Know that. Because they are definitely in business. All right. They're not playing the game of Lonely Lucy on Saturday. And guess what? If anything, they have more to choose from. Oh, Gloria acting up? Let me call Charles. Okay. Not to put it that way.
And I can see how easy like how easy it can be because you have so many choices to choose from, and men are always saying something. I had one say something the other day at 7-Eleven, and I'm like, I'm happily married, but thank you. He gave me a compliment, but you could tell he was trying
to hit on a sister.
Exactly. So if I was kind of like not in a relationship, felt like I couldn't get one or whatever, he had came at the right time. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yes, you can have my number.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
so,
right.
I can see how it could be easier, or it could be, more of a choice for more choices.
Sure,
so,
yeah.
But at this other time, I just don't understand the thinking. So,
well, again,
I'm gonna need to hear from y'all.
Yeah,
Hit me up.
Well, so again, today, we're just talking about bisexuality and the fact that we as gay women, sometimes we're knowingly or unknowingly, perhaps, are dating actively bisexual women. Where do they belong? Because I've heard from the whole the whole scope, from far left to the right of, like, like we're all in the same pot. You give us grace, you give them grace, but I don't see it always going down that way, and for sometimes I just think they get a bad rep that they don't deserve.
Yeah.
So for higher understanding, for and inclusiveness, for fairness, and saying that we're all in the same pool, we all love one another. We'd love to hear from you what you feel about this subject. We trying to be we want to be fair, if not neutral about
Right,
it. So
right.
I don't know if that came across or not, but we're trying. We're trying. Well, so we just want to leave you with those things to think about. And as always, please know that we're wishing you the very best
Of all good things, stay safe and stay woke. And we love you too, bisexuals. Thank you.